Hello everyone, welcome to practice. Today I'll take you through a Vinyasa flow class, kind of a general practice, so we'll touch on a little bit of everything, hopefully leaving you feel a little more sort of balanced everywhere, top to bottom. So let's start seated. You can sit cross-legged, or if you've got a different position to sit in that feels more comfortable for you, go ahead. And we'll just begin with a few simple breaths just to kind of center and focus inwards before we start to move. So finding a tall spine, and you can rest your hands wherever feels comfortable. Close your eyes if possible. If not, just keep your gaze just sort of soft and fuzzy, so you're not really looking at what's around you so much as keeping your attention drawing inwards. So we'll take a really simple 3-count inhale and 3-count exhale. Start simply by emptying your lungs all the way out. So breathe every last bit of breath all the way out of your lungs. Then breathe in for 1, 2, 3, filling to the top. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, emptying to the bottom. Inhale, 1, 2, and right to the top for 3. Exhale, back down to the bottom for 2 and 3. Keep going with this. So inhaling, feeling the beginning and the middle and the end of that 3-count inhale. Same thing on the exhale, beginning, middle, and end. Take 2 or 3 more rounds of your own breath with your own counting. Feeling that nice mirrored quality of inhale and exhale, so that 3-count breath in, 3-count breath out is helping to really balance inhale and exhale, same quality, same length of each side of the breath. Last round. Now with your next inhale, you can open your eyes and we'll start to add on some movement. So breathing in, letting your arms reach up tall to the ceiling like you could touch the ceiling, and then twist around to the right on your breath out. Still see if you can feel that 3-count breath here. Inhaling, tall spine. 3-count exhale to gently spiral and twist around. One more time, breathing in and breathing out. Now we'll come all the way back through center. So inhaling, that 3-count breath again, reaching the arms high, and then twist around to the left. So using your breath out to rotate around to the left. Okay, a couple rounds of breath. Seeing if you can still keep 3-count breath in, so beginning, middle, and end. And beginning, middle, and end of the exhale. Spiraling around, starting to mobilize and warm up through the spine. Another round of breath. And then next inhale, let's come back to center. So reaching your arms just straight out to the sides this time. And then eagle wrap one arm underneath the other. Doesn't really matter which one. Okay. With your inhale, let's draw your fingertips up towards the ceiling, your elbows away from your chest. And then with your exhale, let your spine round. Think of dropping your elbows down towards your belly button. Let your head softly fold forwards. Inhale, draw elbows and fingertips back up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, unravel your arms. Press your arms straight out to the sides, reaching like you could reach around like the biggest tree for a huge hug. Inhale, big expansive chest, and then switch and wrap your other arm underneath. Inhale, elbows and fingertips pull high to the ceiling, and then exhale, let your spine round. Elbows drop towards navel, head folds forwards. Easy through the back of the neck. Again, inhale, coming up to your tall spine, elbows reach high again. Exhale, unravel the arms. take that big breath again to expand your chest, reach from fingertips to fingertips, and then just let the arms soften down. Let's take the right leg out to the side here. Continue with a little bit of warm-up. So we'll take our right hand down that right leg, sweep your left arm up and over in line with your left ear. Now really reach, like really stretch. This is an active movement, active posture we're going for. So extend out of those left fingertips as far as you can. Let's breathe in and keep reaching as you breathe out. Now sweep back up through center. Take that left hand to the mat behind you, and we'll press up onto your left shin. You might have to adjust it underneath your hip slightly. Take that right arm up and long in line with your right ear, and really stretch out long through that right leg. Pause for an inhale breath and an exhale breath. And just lower your seat to the floor again, and we'll swing it around to the other side. So left leg out, long, right knee bent, and you're walking that left hand down your left leg and taking that big stretch up and over with your right arm. Again, go for the reach. We're not trying to just sort of fold in here, but we're trying to extend like you're reaching out beyond yourself. Deep, slow inhale. You can still think of that 3-count breath in, and keep reaching with that breath out. Now come all the way back up. Take your right hand to the mat. Press up onto your right shin. Maybe scooch it underneath you. And then extend that left arm out in line with your left ear. And at the same time, reach long with that left leg. So you're trying to make that side of your body as long as possible. Deep breath in. Stay to breathe out. And then we'll lower our seat back to the floor. And this time we're going to swing through to our hands and knees. So from hands and knees, let's draw our tailbone back towards our heels. So you're kind of almost like in an elongated child's pose. You're really reaching forwards through your hands. Now inhale, come up through a rounded spine. And then exhale, let your hips sink forwards as you hug your shoulders back and really reach open through your sternum. You see how my knees are still on the ground? Okay. And then back up through to hands and knees, and then drag your hips, your tailbone back towards your heels. And we'll do that again. So inhale, pull up through a rounded spine. Exhale, ripple your hips forwards. Hug your shoulders back. Open the front of the chest. And then pull hips back up and towards your heels. Let's do that 2 more times. So you're kind of rippling through your spine. Inhale, up through that rounded spine. Exhale, hips forwards. Breathe in, draw the shoulders back as much as possible. Exhale, pull your hips back to your heels. 1 more time. Inhale, rounded spine. Exhale, hips forwards, shoulders back. Breathe in, puff open the chest. And exhale, hips back to your heels. Now let's tuck our toes and we'll shift to our downward dog. So you're really going to press the ground away from you with your hands to find that really long and strong feeling through your arms. Let your head just hang, neck easy. And let's take 2 of those 3-count breaths here in your downward dog. So inhaling for 3 counts and exhaling for 3 counts. And again, breathing in and breathing out. Now on your next inhale, slowly stretch that right leg up and back behind you. And then use that 3-count exhale to step your right foot forwards between your hands and let that back knee lower gently to the ground. Come on up into Crescent Lunge. So we'll take our arms, reaching your fingertips up and back, inhale. And then sweep your arms back on your exhale, bringing belly and chest forwards over that front side. And we'll do 2 more of those. So nice full breath, reaching, extending. Exhale, sweeping arms back, belly and chest forwards. And last one, inhale. And exhale. Now interlace your hands behind you here. You're going to shrug your shoulders back. Puff your chest up towards the ceiling. slightly lift your gaze and just pause. Full inhale, so try not to get short through your breath here. Keep that breathing full. Full exhale. Now releasing your hands to either side of your front foot, we'll go to our pyramid pose. Lengthen your front leg and let your forehead softly bow down towards that right shin. Again, just taking that breath in and taking that breath out. And then rebend your front knee. Press your hands strong into the ground and take that right leg back behind you. This time, bend your knee, stack your hip open. So you're coming into that three-legged dog with your hip stacked open. Now here, let that right knee and shin come down to the mat, turning your right foot out to the right side. So you're kind of returning to this same shape that we were just in a moment ago in our first little warm-up. Send that left arm long in line with your left ear. And here, we're going to rise all the way up through center and come into gate pose. So left hand down that left thigh, right arm reaching up and over, and you probably feel a nice long stretch to that right side of your body. Pause for an inhale. Pause for an exhale. Sweep back through center, right hand to the mat, left hand to the mat. Coming through your plank, and now we're shifting to the outside edge of your left foot for side plank. So press that left hand deep into the ground, sweep your right arm open to the ceiling. And you can always modify, right? So you can always just sneak that knee and shin down underneath you if you need. I want you to sweep up, lift up from underneath your hips, underneath your waist. Reach long across the arms and the shoulders. And then with control, slowly gaze down and take that right hand to the mat, returning to your downward facing dog. Moving out to plank pose, so let's shift forwards, shoulders over wrists. You can always bring your knees to the ground for that supported plank. Let's inhale, lengthen the spine, and then keep your core, your belly nice and strong as you slowly lower all the way to the ground. I want you to hug your elbows right into the sides of your waist as you come down. Point your toes, inhale for your cobra, shrug your shoulders back, find that nice puff of the chest forwards, and I want you to pause with your exhale. Again, inhale, opening the front of the shoulders and chest, and then exhale from your belly button, pulling back to your spine. Shift back through hands and knees, downward facing dog. Left leg rises up as you breathe in. Step left foot forwards between your hands with your breath out. Back knee lowers to the mat. Coming up to Crescent Lunge. So arms rise up, inhale breath. And then sweep your arms back, belly and chest forwards, exhale breath. And we'll do two more of those. So breathing in and breathing out. And last one, inhale. Sweeping arms back, exhale, catch the hands behind you, interlace them, and then really drag your shoulders back. So we're trying to open the front of the shoulders and chest. Feel your shoulder blades kind of squeeze together on the back of the chest, puff up through the sternum, pause and take a nice full breath. And then release your hands to either side of your front foot, and we'll lengthen both legs into our pyramid pose. Let your forehead softly fold down. Now bending that front knee, hands plant strong, and we're returning to a three-legged dog. So that left leg reaches high, bend the left knee, let your hips stack open. From here, left shin comes to the mat, kind of like halfway up the mat or just underneath your hip. Turn that left foot out to the side, and we're returning almost to, it's basically a supported side plank shape. Now from here though, we're sweeping all the way up through center and coming into our gate pose. So that right hand's going to reach down the right leg, and your left arm's going to sweep up and over in line with your left ear. Take a moment, breathe into the left side of your waist. Nice big side body stretch here. And then we'll cartwheel the hands back down. So left hand to the mat, right hand to the mat. Step back, to your plank pose, and then shift over to outer edge of your right foot for side plank. Pressing down with that right hand, left arm reaching to the ceiling, and you're lifting up from the underneath side of your waist and hips. Stay as steady as you can. You can even spin your gaze up towards that top hand for a little more balance challenge if you'd like. Okay, now always trying to stay within your range of control as you shift out of these more kind of arm balancing poses. So returning to your downward dog, but trying to do so with as much control as you can. Moving forwards to plank. So inhale to plank. Maybe knees to the ground if you want supported variation. And then elbows bend. Exhale, come to the ground. Same thing, toes point. Let's take our hands just a teeny bit wider this time and come to your fingertips. Shoulders drag back, and we're coming into that back bend or cobra. So it doesn't have to be a big back bend. Feel it out for yourself. We're really just trying to focus on opening the front of the chest again and strengthening the back body. So the muscles on the back of the body. Let's stay again for an inhale breath. And this time, exhale, lengthen and lower back to the ground. Just sneak your hands back in underneath your elbows, tuck your toes, really strong lift up through your belly towards your spine. Inhale breath, and then exhale, see if you can press back up to plank in one nice, smooth movement. Easier said than done. Downward facing dog, we'll meet back there. Let's take the right leg high again, breathing in and stepping forwards. Breathing out. This time high lunge, so back leg stays straight. Come on up, and then same thing. We're just adding on that high lunge. Same thing we did before. Inhale, reach up and back, and exhale, pulse the arms back. Belly and chest forwards. 2 more times. Staying really steady and stable through your legs, your lower body, and letting your upper body move freely. 1 more time. Inhaling. Exhaling, letting those arms sweep back. Now again, catch the hands behind you. Interlace your hands. Drag your chest open and back, open and back. Shoulders gather onto the back of the rib cage. Puff the chest, lightly lift your gaze, but keep your neck nice and long. And you can pause here for maybe, 1 round of breath, maybe 2 rounds of breath if you can. Staying steady. And then with control, fingertips down, lengthen the front leg, let your head hang forwards. Pyramid pose again. This time, let's bend that front knee, take a peek forwards, and step your back foot up to the top of your mat, forward fold. Half lift, so breathe in to lengthen out the spine, and then let's bend the knees, sitting our hips back and down, and coming into chair pose. So in your chair pose, I'll just turn so you can see, take these sort of cactus arms or bookend arms. Press your elbows back, your forearms and your wrists back. Inhale, breath, and exhale, breath, sit a little deeper into that chair. Now as you breathe in, reach your fingertips out long, so arms lengthen. Try to keep your arm bones in line with your ears. And then exhale, bend your elbows as you keep pressing your elbows, wrists, and forearms back behind you. And again, inhale, extend the arms. Exhale, bend the arms and keep dragging back through those elbows and forearms. Let's do that 1 more time. Inhale, breath. And exhale, breath. Good. This time, just stretch your legs long. Let's reach the arms to the ceiling. Breathe in and fold down over the legs with your breath out. Halfway lift again. We'll step our right foot all the way back. Spin your right heel to the ground and come on up into Warrior 2. Hips, chest, and shoulders open to the long side of your mat. Give your shoulders a little shrug. Breathing in and then letting your shoulders settle down as you exhale. Turn the left palm to the ceiling. Let's lengthen out that side body again in your reversed warrior, your exalted warrior. Stretch out long on your inhale and then take your exhale to reach your rib cage forwards to side angle pose. You can rest the forearm on top of your thigh or take your hand down, tent it to the ground on the inside of your front foot. Let's take a few arm circles. So with that top arm, sweep it out long in line with your ear, and then let your arm kind of circle down in front of your face, back behind you, and then all the way up and over again. And we'll do that one more time. So really long circle, reaching, 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 circling down, and all the way back up towards the ceiling. Now let's get steady into our feet and sweep up and back one more time into that reversed warrior. So stretching, extending, and then cartwheel the hands down to the floor. One hand, other hand. Three-legged dog. So left leg back. Let's bend that knee, stack the hip open. Shake it out a little bit if you need to. Okay, knee and shin to the mat, kind of like we did before. Turning that left foot out. So you're in that supported side plank shape. Stay here, or option 2 for a little more challenge is to pull that left ankle up to your inner right knee. This is our reversed side plank. You can also kick that left leg out long if you want a little more challenge. And then last thing, if you want, you can sweep that top arm in line with your ear and try to almost make like a C curve, a sideways C curve with your spine. So you're really pressing your hips up high to the ceiling. Breathe in and try to stay steady as you breathe out. Take that top hand to the mat, three-legged dog one more time, left leg behind you, and then we'll take it around to wild thing pose. So left toes to the mat behind you, turning yourself, kind of like you're turning yourself inside out. Now, if wild thing pose is not for you, remember you can always have right knee, right shin on the ground and take the more supported shape called stargazer. Good. Wherever you are, keep that breath steady, and then with control, return around, both hands, both feet, downward facing dog. Inhale, pull your way forwards to your plank or supported plank. Exhale, slow and steady, elbows bend. Bring yourself all the way to the mat. We'll interlace the hands behind us like we've been doing quite a bit already. Shoulders gather back, and we're moving into our locust pose. So you're going to extend out long through the crown of your head. Puff your chest forward, so head and chest are lengthening up off the ground, kind of like peeling off the ground. And then reach out long through your legs and lift your legs as well. More back body strengthening. Let's breathe in, open the chest, puff the chest forwards, and then breathe out. Everything comes down, hands by those low ribs. Now ignore me if you want and just press back to downward facing dog. If you'd like that sort of reverse push-up action again, toes tucked, hands underneath your elbows, strong core. So lift your navel up towards your spine, breathe in, and then breathe out. Press right up to that plank pose, and then downward dog. So other side, left leg rises up on your inhale, stepping forwards, exhale, high lunge, back leg stays straight. Come on up. I'm getting my wires all mixed up here, microphone wires. Let's take those 3 big sweeps. So inhale, reach up and back, and then steady that lower body, legs, upper body free, pulsing the arms back behind you 2 more times. Let your body and your breath work together like dance partners. Inhale, reaching up, easy shoulders. And exhale, sweep or comb those arms back behind you. Now hands interlace. Last time like this. Drag your chest back and open. Shoulders squeeze onto the back of the rib cage, chest wide, slight lift of the gaze. Keep your face calm, your forehead smooth. And then release your fingertips down. Lengthen that front leg. Doesn't have to stretch all the way, remember. Stretch it just as far as you can. Let your head hang. And then we'll rebend that front knee and step back foot up to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Half lift, long spine, bending the knees, sitting the hips back, and come on up into chair pose. One more time. So let's send the arms out long this time. We'll just take a little twist. So let's take our inhale, reach out long, and then exhale, take your right arm, take your forearm to the outside of your left thigh, and peel your left arm open to the ceiling. So it's just a little bit of a different chair twist. Inhale, spin your sternum, center of your chest around. Exhale, stay. Now we'll sweep back through a chair, so both arms forwards, and then just switch sides. So left forearm hooks to the outside of your right thigh. You can kind of press that forearm into the outside of the leg in order to rotate your chest around and reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Inhale, breath. Stay to exhale, breath. Swing back through chair pose and then extend the legs. Take a reach and fold forwards with your breath out. Half lift, peeking forwards in order to now step your left foot back and come on up to warrior two. Settle down into your legs and your feet. Maybe give your shoulders a little shrug. And then we'll turn that front palm to face up to the ceiling. And take that side body length into reversed warrior. Again, it's an active reach. It's not just kind of a hang and dangle with that arm, but it's a really active stretch with your top arm. Breathe in, use your breath out to pull back up through center, and then lengthen your rib cage out to your side angle pose. Right? So same variations or options, forearm on top of thigh, or reach down to the inside of the foot. That top arm, let's take some nice big circles, 2 of them. So reach out of your fingertips, reach, reach, reach as long as you can. Circle down in front of your face towards the back of the room, and then back up to the ceiling, and then one more time. Take it slow. Try to feel as big of a range of motion in that circle with that top shoulder and top arm. And then taking that arm, reaching it back up to the ceiling, strong legs. Big sweep up and back into that reversed warrior. Take one full breath in, and then use the exhale to cartwheel hands down. We'll take that 3-legged dog again. Bend that right knee, stack the hip open, shake it out a little bit if you need. And then right knee, right shin to the mat. Okay, we've been here already, so we're kind of familiar with this supported side plank shape. So we're coming back here, and you can stay. You don't have to add on. And if you are adding on, press down into the ground with that bottom hand and just kind of like pull up, squeeze up with that right ankle to inner left thigh, or kick that leg forwards. Okay? Now last thing you can add on, top arm, stretch it long in line with your ear, and then scoop up from underneath the hips and the waist. And if my voice gets wobbly, it's because it's hard. From here, slowly sweep back to 3-legged, and we'll take ourselves all the way around to your wild thing pose. So you want to get the feet steady first, right toes find the ground, then turn yourself inside out and open. And if you want supported variation, stargazer, left knee and shin underneath you. Give yourself at least one nice big breath to stretch open the front line of the body. And then transition back to your downward dog last time. So here's our last flow through plank. So inhaling to pull forwards, plank or supported plank. Exhale, elbows bend. Hug them into your rib cage, lower to the mat. Hands interlace, this is our very last one. Shalabhasana, the Locust Pose. Peel your shoulders back, peel your head and chest off of the mat, and then stretch and lengthen your legs up and off of the mat. Check that your neck is long, so keep your gaze down at the front edge of your mat so that you're not just crinkling your neck. One more inhale breath, lift, 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 and then exhale to release. Okay, one more time, hands underneath you, come back to downward dog or reverse that push-up if you want. If you're going to, inhale, engage the core, lift the belly button, exhale, press into the floor, back up to plank, and then downward dog. Okay, friends, so from here we'll step through into, you can just step 1 foot forwards, and we'll come into our goddess squat. So we're going to have our feet nice and wide, toes turned out, heels turned slightly in, and knees bent. Make sure your knees are pressing open towards your pinky toes, so your knees are tracking in the same direction as your toes. Let's take our arms up, hold on to opposite elbows with your hands, and then we'll take some big circles of our upper body. So let's go over towards the right, and then sweep down through the middle of the legs, and then over towards the left, and then back up through center. And one more time in that same direction. Over to the right, through center, over to the left, and back up. And now switching directions. So over to the left, keep breathing, circle through center, over to the right, back up, one more time, to the left, through the middle, to the right, and all the way back up. Good. Stretch the legs, parallel the feet. Whew. Tall spine, and then fold forwards. Fold all the way down over top of the legs. Make your spine nice and long, like a halfway lift. Let's keep the right hand pressing down into the floor, and then twist your chest as you open the other arm up towards the ceiling. You're spinning your chest open while maintaining a nice square pelvis. Take an inhale, and then exhale. Bring that hand back down, and let's switch sides. So the hand that's on the floor, really press down in order to spin your chest and open your other arm up towards the ceiling. Keep your pelvis nice and square. So we're not rotating or twisting from the hips. We're just trying to rotate from the ceiling. Inhale, breath, and fold forwards. Exhale, breath. Let's stay on this wide-legged forward fold. Feel free to hug the backs of your ankles with your hands and use a tiny little tug to just help encourage a little bit of a deeper forward fold. Feel like the top of your head is really stretching and reaching down towards the ground. One more round of inhale, and one more exhale. Release whatever you're holding on to, ankles or feet, and then just swing yourself back up to the top of your mat, and we'll come on down to our knees. And my wires are sticking out again. Okay, so from our knees, we'll do a little bit of a pumping breath before we come into a gentle back bend. So let's stack our hips on top of our knees. You may want to tuck your toes. Take your arms into those cactus arms or bookend arms. On your inhale breath, press your elbows, your forearms back, peek your chest open. On your exhale, bring your elbows towards each other, pull them back by your sides, and bow down. Let's do 4 more of those. So deep breath in, really press the elbows back. And then exhale, elbows pull together and back. And 3 more, breathing in and breathing out. And 2 more. Really go for that opening, that pressing back of the elbows. Exhale. Last one. And breathe out. Now come all the way up. Really stack your hips over top of your knees. You can keep those toes tucked. Interlace the hands behind you and take that same sort of squeeze of your shoulder blades back. We're coming into Camel Pose. So I like to have the hands interlaced just to help initiate that feeling of the wrap of the shoulders onto the back of the chest. And then from there you can release your hands onto the back of the pelvis. Puff up through your chest, your sternum. Slightly lift your gaze, your eye line. And it can be as gentle as you need. So it might just be more of an upright posture with just that focus of wrapping your shoulders back. Those of you who want to go a little deeper, right, you can puff the chest more, tip into that back space. Of course, you can always reach your hands for your heels, but if you are reaching your hands for your heels, really focus on those shoulders squeezing onto the back of your chest so that you're trying to bend a little bit more into your upper spine and not just into your lower spine. You can keep your chin in towards your chest, or you can let your head drape back, depending on what's better for your neck. Let's stay for another deep breath. In and a deep breath out. To come back up through center, draw your chin in, press your shins into the ground, really pull your belly button back towards your spine, and then release. Untuck your toes. Hands on top of your thighs, and just let your chin soften down slightly first. And then from there, ease yourself out to a child's pose. So letting that lower back release and lengthen into a child's pose. Roll back up. And then just sit through, swing onto your bum. Let's take our left leg, stretch it all the way out in front. Bend your right knee and place your foot to the outside of your left thigh. Sit tall as tall as possible. So kind of lift and lengthen up through your spine. Right hand behind you, and then hook your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. You can also just wrap your arm around your shin if that's an easier position for you to come into. Seated spinal twist. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, gently rotate around. And try to keep your shoulders down away from the ears here. One more breath in and a breath out. Unravel your twist. Come through center. Little counter twist over to the left, just a little kind of unwind. And then we'll switch. So right leg stretches long, left knee bent. Place your foot to the outside of your right thigh. Sit tall first, then move around into the twist. Okay, so I'm taking left hand behind me, hooking elbow to the outside of my thigh. Rotate, lengthen. Your inhale can really help you to lengthen. Your exhale can help you to spiral. Again, easy shoulders down away from the ears. And then we will unravel, take that little counter twist over to the right. And then back through center. Last posture, let's take our butterfly legs, so our Bada Kanasana. So it's a diamond shape of your legs. You can hold on to your shins. Find that tall spine, and then fold forwards. And you can keep your hands on your shins, on your ankles to just help encourage that forward fold. You can also just walk your hands out in front of you and let your head bow down. Take a few rounds of breath here. Maybe come back to focusing on a 3-count inhale and a 3-count exhale. And last breath. Slowly roll all the way back up. Find a nice tall seat. Place your hands either together into that prayer position or maybe hands onto your belly, or one hand to belly, one hand to chest. And let's finish our practice with, again, just a 3-count inhale and a 3-count exhale. Close your eyes if you can. Empty out your lungs. And then breathing in slowly for 3, for 2, for 1. Exhale, 3, 2, and 1. And we'll do last round of that. Inhale, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, 3, 2, and 1. I'll leave you there. So thank you for tuning in. That's the end of our practice. See you next time.